Okay, we're going to do the halakha psuka in the Musar for today, Tuesday, Parashat Masei, Chok L'Yisrael. En הקורא רשאי להגביה קולו יותר מן המתרגם. So yesterday we learned that they used to do a reading of the Torah where the reader would read one pasuk and then another person would translate it to Aramaic. So when the person reads the pasuk, he should not raise his voice more higher than the voice of the one who interprets it, who translates it. והמתרגם לא יגביה קולו יותר מן הקורא, and the one who translates it into Aramaic shouldn't raise his voice higher than the person who's reading. ואין המתרגם רשאי לתרגם עד שיכלה הפסוק מפי הקורא. And the person who's translating is not allowed to start the translation before the pasuk is finished being read by the one who's reading. ואין הקורא רשאי לקרוא פסוק עד שיכלה התרגום מפי התורגמן. And the reader is not allowed to start reading the next verse until the translator finishes saying the translation to Aramaic of the pasuk that he is translating. והתורגמן נשאר לא לעמוד ולא לקורא, אלא עומד באימה וביראה. And so the person who's translating should not lean on a beam or on a pillar, but rather he should stand in awe and fear. ולא יתרגם מתוך הכתב אלא על פה. Should not translate from a written text, but rather בעל פה, orally. ואין הקורא רשאי לסייע לתורגמן. And the reader is not allowed to help the translator, to join with him in the translation. שלא אמרו תרגום כתוב בתורה. So they should not say that the translation into Aramaic is also written in the Torah. והקטן מתרגם על ידי גדול, ואין כבוד לגדול שיתרגם על ידי קטן. And a minor can do a translation for an adult who reads, but the reverse, no, we shouldn't have an adult doing for a child who's a minor reading. ולא יהיו המתרגמים שניים כאחד, אלא אחד קורא ואחד מתרגם. And they should not be translating together, two of them. Rather, one person reads and one translates. ולא כל המקראות מתרגמים. Not all the verses are translated. בציבור, in public. מעשה ראובן וברכת כהנים ומעשה העגל מן ויאמר משה לאהרון עד וירא משה את העם. So there are certain subjects that are not translated in public, like the subject of what happened with Reuven, the Birkat Kohanim, the blessing of the Kohanim, also the sin of the golden calf from the pasuk that says ויאמר משה אל אהרון until the pasuk וירא משה את העם. ועוד pasuk אחד, one other pasuk, ויגוף השם את העם, that when Hashem struck the people with a plague, also that's not translated in Nikra'im, they're read ולא מתורגמים, and it's not translated. ומעשה אמנון במקום שנאמר אמנון בן דוד, נקרא ולא מתרגם, also the story of Amnon also is read and not translated. מוסר, שם לאוזניים האצבעות המשופות כי תדות, או עליית האוזן רחבה הרבה להיות חומה וגדר נגד השומע אם ישמע דבר חטא. So it's a continuation of what we spoke about yesterday. Hashem made us the fingers that they're pointed like pegs, so a person could put the finger inside his ear when he hears something that he shouldn't be hearing. He should have, be careful about what he what he lends an ear to, and if he hears something that he should not hear, he should take his finger and put it inside his ear, or the aliyah. The aliyah is the soft part of the ear, the ear lobe, that he should take the ear lobe and stick it inside, and this is illustratively saying that a person has to be careful about what he listens. So if somebody tells you something you shouldn't listen, you should either stop him, or so can walk away, or put your fingers inside the ears and refuse to hear words that should not be said. And all this is choma vegader. It's like a fence, a wall. Neged hashomea im yishma dever chet, if you hear something that is sinful. Sam af apayim lechasot velistom vela'atzom enav ve'od bera. Hashem gave us also eyelids so that we can close our eyes and not to see evil. Ve'lalashon shetei chomot, and for the tongue He made two walls, chomat etzem ve'chomat basar, a wall of bone, which is the teeth, and a wall of flesh, which are the lips, and both of them are a fence and a wall, miledaber belashon hara, that refrains us from saying lashon hara, which is evil speech, evil talk, And also, b'shum devar avera. And anything also sinful, it would prevent us from saying anything sinful. V'adam ha'nivzeh kshehu sam oznav nishmoa avera. And a person who is nivzeh, who is despicable, is a person who sets his ears to hear sin. Unfortunately, there are people who actually want to hear things that they shouldn't be hearing. And people who are not selective about what they should hear. So that's why it says here, a nivzeh, person who is despicable, when he puts his ears to hear things that are sinful. Ve'enav lir'ot avera, or his eyes to see sin. Leshono le'atzmid mirma, or using his lips or his tongue to speak deceit. Ma'asa, what did Hashem do? Paretz geder. Ma'asa, paretz geder malko she'olam chama chatayim nasu. No, what did a person like this, who is not paying attention, he's breaking down the fence of the King of the universe. And how great is his sin? Because he's not using these aspects to refrain from either hearing things he shouldn't hear, seeing things he shouldn't see, or saying things he shouldn't say. Kach mashal adam apores geder melech basar v'adam uchayav mita. Should take an example, a parable. If a person breaks down a fence set up by a king of flesh and blood, of course he's liable to the death penalty. If a person goes to the king's palace and breaks down the wall, or breaks any fence that is a law that is put by the king, that's something that would be considered to be an affront to the king. הפורץ גדר מלכו של עולם על אחת כמה וכמה שבין מוותו ועל זה נאמר ופורץ גדר איש שכינו נחש. More so, a person who breaks down the fence set up by the King of the universe, by Hashem, who gives us the eyelids, who gives us a way to close our ears, who gives us a way to control our speech. Person who breaks down that fence, it says here in the book of Kohelet, it says whoever breaks down a fence, a snake will bite him. Tell us how serious it is not being careful with these aspects. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.